Today we're going to be diving into potential replacements for BJ Ojulari. If you do not know what I'm talking about, earlier this morning there was a report that came out from Cameron Wolf stating that BJ Ojulari sustained a torn ACL on Friday's practice. And about an hour ago, head coach Jonathan Gannon has confirmed that BJ Ojulari is done for the season. Let's talk about the potential replacement here for BJ Ojulari. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. On this channel we cover everything Arizona Cardinals news, conversational pieces, breaking news, everything surrounding your favorite team. So subscribe it up, it's absolutely for free.
How do you guys replace what you're opening?
We'll figure it out. Got to figure it out. That's our job. You know what I mean? So we'll always do what's best for the team, and some guys will step up, and we got to figure it out.
All right, let's go and dive right into it. Let's talk about potential replacements for BJ Ojulari. Definitely an unfortunate time waking up to such terrible news, right? Because BJ Ojulari was seen to be a guy that a lot of people were really excited for heading into his second year. There was a lot of expectations. He was shining a lot in training camp. There was nothing but high praises from the coaching staff. So definitely very unfortunate that he has gone down and is done for the entirety of the season. Now, I want to go ahead and give a really quick good news. There was another breaking news that actually dropped probably about 2 to 3 hours after the whole BJ Ojulari breaking news that dropped, and it has to do with Zaven Colins. Now, this report actually came out here from Adam Schefter, and it says this: Arizona's former first-round pick Zaven Colins is signing a 2-year, $14 million extension that includes $11.25 million guaranteed at signing with the Cardinals, per sources. Now, earlier this offseason, there was a report that came out that said the Arizona Cardinals will not be picking up Zaven Collins' fifth-year option, but this is now kind of, I guess, a breath of fresh air for Zaven Collins. He is staying in the desert, at least for the next 2 years, right? At least that's what the extension comes out here and says. So definitely kudos to Zaven Collins. Now, one of the biggest reasons why we're highlighting Zaven is because obviously it's breaking news, and he's now seen to be edge one for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this is a very interesting time because the Arizona Cardinals, before this whole BJ Ojulari situation happened, we've all kind of felt that the edge position has not really been addressed very much, but I think we all kind of convinced ourselves saying that year 2 of BJ Ojulari is going to be great, right? So now we're kind of in a very, very interesting situation where I feel like this is an absolute test for Monty Austin to see exactly how he's going to handle this situation, and I'm hoping he's going to make a move. But let's talk about potential replacements here for BJ Ojulari. Now, I did break it apart into 3 different positions. I got in-house replacements, I got free agents, as well as I got a potential trade, right? Now, I know there will be some people kind of running to the comments saying the Cardinals will never do that trade, but you never know. We've heard people come out here and say the Cardinals will not get JJ Watt, the Cardinals will not get DeAndre Hopkins, and that happened, right? So we're just kind of living in different scenarios. We're trying to see what we can do to find replacements. So let's first start off with in-house replacements for BJ Ojulari. Let's go ahead and start off here with Dennis Gardeck. I really, really do like him as an individual, as a player. I think he's got juice. I think he's got swag. I think he definitely is a guy that can give the Arizona Cardinals production, but just not in a consistent manner, right? Now, we've seen in 2020 where he actually racked up 7 sacks and he looked really, really well, right? But after that, it just kind of seems injuries, inconsistencies. Now, I do like the idea that Dennis Gardeck will be giving us production on the outside if need be, or maybe use him on special teams like we probably will as well. But I think here at the end of the day, the Arizona Cardinals, we cannot rely on a Dennis Gardeck to be full throttle edge 2, right? We can't depend on that, right? Now, we also do got Victor Ngakoue, was his late round pick. Now, this is during the whole Steve Keim days. There is him as well, which has not really kind of made a big focal point. We've seen him flash here and there in preseason. We've seen him here and there in regular season, but it hasn't been a consistent matter to say, okay, we're fine. There's Victor Ngakoue, right? Everybody that I'm mentioning here, I'm okay with having a swing type of guy, right? A edge by committee, which it kind of seems like what Jonathan Gannon has done in year 1. But I'm definitely looking for a guy that's going to give us a lot of snaps, right? And I do not see that right now so far. Now, I do like Dante Stills, and I know there's going to be people running to the comments saying, well, they play different positions, right? That's outside linebacker compared to your defensive end, right? It's all kind of one of the same, right? They play kind of the same position. Biggest difference is that outside linebackers, they drop in coverage, right? Where defensive ends, you don't want that, right? But the main goal is to rush that quarterback and cause pressure to that quarterback, and it all just kind of depends on what formation is out there, right? But Dante Stills can give us that production. We heard Darius Robinson, rookie that we just drafted this year, come out and say that the Arizona Cardinals are using him everywhere on that defensive line, and he means everywhere except for the nose tackle, right? But for the most part, they're using him a lot. Now, he has mentioned edge as well. If you don't believe me, here you go.
So where have they played you across the line?
Literally the whole line.
Darius, they've put you out in a wide 9 on the edge?
Yeah, out there, some of our fronts, you go out there, the tight ends on the line.
Like I said a little earlier, Darius Robinson definitely gives us some flexibility. I would love Darius Robinson getting a big workload, but it seems like they're going to be moving him across the line, which I'm not mad at as well. But I think at the end of the day, if it works, it works. You can't depend on Darius Robinson to be edge to the whole time, unless that's what the Cardinals decide to do, which I'm 100% on board. Now, we do got another guy in Cameron Thomas, which I don't know about Cameron Thomas. We got him during the same time we got Najee Sanders. I believe he was also a 3rd-round pick as well, and he just has not been very consistent, right? I've seen him in training camp here and there run with the 2s and the 3s, and I'm just not seeing what I would like to see as an edge player. He's there. He's floating around. I definitely think he's a guy that is on the bubble, if I'm not going to lie to you. I think he's a guy that's definitely on the bubble. If he doesn't really show out in preseason or the rest of training camp, I don't know if he's going to be here with the Cardinals in the next 2 years, right? So there's Cameron Thomas as well. Now, I'm going to throw a crazy scenario out there. We're still keeping it in-house replacements. We got Mack Wilson Sr. Mack Wilson Sr. has played edge for New England. So that could be a potential suitor as well. Now, he's 6'1", 246. Last year, he had about 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Now, I'm not sure if the Cardinals are going to be putting him in a position that they're going to keep him there all the time. Maybe if they flex him there, okay, maybe we're going to be seeing a situation where we're going to be seeing a edge 2 by committee, right? Maybe Mack Wilson Sr., Dennis Gardeck, maybe Victor Dimukeje, Dante Stills, just kind of really depending on what formation's out there, but maybe that might be what the Cardinals are going to do. Now, the reason why I have a lot of people on here, and I mentioned the fact that Mack Wilson on here as well, is that Jonathan Gannon was asked today about, just kind of confirming of the whole BJ Ojulari news, and yeah, he has confirmed that he's down for the season. Definitely very unfortunate, but just to kind of quote Jonathan Gannon, he came out and said this: "We will figure it out. All things are on the table. We have plenty of guys on the defense that will have to step up and play." So pretty much insinuating the fact that he's okay with who we have in the locker room right now, and he feels like there could be a guy or two that will be able to step up. Now, I hope the Arizona Cardinals don't go this route and keep the conservative route, because the Cardinals still got money to spend. They got definitely money to spend. I think last time I looked this morning, the Cardinals had upwards of $35 million in cap space. Now, obviously, with the Zaven Colins just extension, that's definitely going to go down, but there's still money to spend for the Arizona Cardinals to potentially go after a free agent edge player that's potentially still out there, right? Now, that's going to segue me into my next topic here, right? My next thing to talk about. Free agents. Who can the Arizona Cardinals go after when it comes down to free agents? Now, I'm going to go out here and say this. This is probably one of the first real tests Monty Austin-Fort has as a general manager. I know there's some Cardinal fans out there that don't really have high expectations for this Arizona Cardinals season, but there's some Cardinal fans out there that truly think that the Cardinals are going to contend. Now, if that is truly what is going to happen, I hope Monty Austin-Fort goes on the phone and starts making some calls, right? And one of the players that I really do like that is still currently out there is none other than Yannick Ngakoue. I really do like him. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. He's been in the NFL since 2016, and right now he is actually a free agent that could potentially come out here and help the Arizona Cardinals potentially get 4, 5, 6 sacks during the season. Now, as of right now, he is a free agent. He spent time with the Bears. He spent time with the Colts, the Raiders, the Ravens, the Vikings, the Jaguars. It almost kind of seems like he went everywhere, right? But why not add another notch to the belt of Yannick Ngakoue to come in here and potentially play that edge 2 role for the Arizona Cardinals? I like what he's done in the NFL. We got a veteran presence that could potentially do really, really good for the Arizona Cardinals. And hey, I'm not mad at it, especially right now in the season. We could potentially get him on a really, really good deal. We could potentially get him on a really, really good deal. And I've liked what I've seen from him, like I said earlier. Another option out there is Carl Lawson. He's 29 years old right now. He spent some time with the Jets as well as the Bengals. Last year, he didn't really have a lot of production, and I'm not sure if that's because he wasn't a starter, but his first year with the Jets in 2022, 7 sacks. With the Bengals, he had a total of, I would say, more than 15 sacks since 2017. So he's been pretty consistent when it comes down to his early career with the Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, with the Jets, didn't really work out, but I do think that Jets team had a lot of really good players that it maybe kind of fell by the wayside and probably just wasn't used very much with the Jets. But why not bring a guy that's hungry, that will give us some sort of fighting chance in that edge position? And maybe if it's a 1-year, 2-year deal, I'm not mad at that, right? Now let's move on over to my last player. That's going to be none other than Frank Clark. Now, yes, he's a veteran. He's older than Yannick. He's older than Carl. Yes, I definitely am fully aware of that. But if you're looking just for a guy that might be the cheapest deal, Frank Clark might be the guy. But honestly, the two that we mentioned before, I would rather take them than Frank Clark. I'm not going to lie to you, but they're still out there. The Cardinals probably still have $28+ million left in cap space. Why not? Monty, get on the phone and let's see if we can go ahead and upgrade this edge position, because this BJ Ojulari injury is really, really bad. It's bad. It really is. Can the Arizona Cardinals potentially trade for that will upgrade this edge position? Now, the only really guy that kind of comes to my mind is Haason Reddick, right? Now, we're talking about a guy that signed a deal with the Jets, and I believe he signed technically until 2027, but if you actually look at his contract, he's got so many voided out years. 2025 is voided, 2026 is voided, 2027 is voided as well. There's no guaranteed salary. So he signed a deal with the Jets, but he's not happy with that contract at all. And I think you can tell because he's not showing up in training camp. There's a big disconnect between Haason Reddick and his current team with the New York Jets. So if the Arizona Cardinals want to reunite with the guy that started his career with the Arizona Cardinals under the whole Bruce Arians regime, Haason Reddick would be a really, really cool asset to bring in to an Arizona Cardinal uniform. Now, the most expensive option, yes, is Haason Reddick. There's absolutely no doubt there. Now, right now, Haason Reddick is 30 years old, but he's got so much production, so much consistency within his accrued career in the NFL. Now, like I said earlier, he's 30. He might be slowing down. So we got to be very, very careful when it comes down to signing a multi-year deal with a 30-year-old guy. Yeah, I can agree with that. But right now, circumstances calls for the Arizona Cardinals need to make a move. I personally would rather bring in a free agent, but I'm not mad with the idea of a trade. I would love a trade. That would be great if we brought in Haason Reddick. But I think the most reasonable thing in the mind of Monty Ossenfort and what he's done so far is probably free agent. Now, what do I really think is going to happen? I think the Cardinals are probably going to keep it in-house. I think we're going to try to upgrade somebody that we currently have right now. I don't want that. I don't think that's the right way. I think the Arizona Cardinals need to be urgent here. I think this is a big urgent thing that the Cardinals need to make a big move on. And I think currently right now there's some free agents that the Arizona Cardinals can make some noise with, and bringing in a Yannick Ngakoue or a Carl Lawson will definitely be exciting for Cardinals fans. And obviously next year, BJ Ojulari will come back healthier, right? So right now, what are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? What are your thoughts about a potential trade for Haason Reddick? Do you think it's possible? Do you think the Arizona Cardinals will go after a free agent? Or do you think the Cardinals will keep it in-house and go the cheap route? Let me know here in the comments below. I appreciate you for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of your day and go Cards.